Hey guys, it's Woody the Unexceptional Gamer, and welcome to Mail Monday, a series that's not so much about the gameplay, but instead is about your letters. So, I wanted to talk about the game just a little bit. It's a competitive game. It was kind of hard fought. I felt like I was a big part of the win. I don't get a massive KD, but the games where I get a massive KD, tend to be blowouts, and they're shorter, and I like Mail Monday to be longer videos, so that's why I chose this one. Let's get started. I'm 12 going on 13. My friend is going out with a girl, and I'm afraid that them going out is going to affect our friendship. We all have the same class, and he normally talks to me. I'm afraid she's going to talk to him all period, because she talks to him all the time. I tried to convince him not to go out with her, because her mom's an 8th grade teacher, and if he breaks up with her, she's going to know, and she's going to be mad for the next year, so he shouldn't even try. So here's how this process works. When you're a little guy, like 3 years old, gender doesn't even matter. Boys, girls, they play together, they don't care. Sometime as you first hit school, maybe 5 years old or so, boys and girls start splitting off. The other one has cooties. They don't play with each other, and they get sort of divided. And right about where you are kicks off this 10-year process where guys and girls go from becoming this divided group to eventually becoming the primary pair. So you're used to your buds, your guy friends, and you're used to being like the center of his world. You're going to have to adjust to this period where girls become the center of his world. And for a while, different ones will come and go until eventually he marries one and his friends will be the ones that come and go. So your job here, in this stage, this sort of, teenage period that you're getting into, is to be the best friend that you can be. And how does that work? Well, you need to want what's best for your friend. That's your obligation in this thing. You need to be the guy that that encourages his girlfriends, that's there, between girlfriends, that's there during girlfriends. I'm not saying that you completely give up this friendship and accept, a back seat. His job is still to sort of, balance, all the people in his life and make sure that they're getting the attention they need. But your job is also to understand that, if she makes him happy, and if she's a part of his life, then she's a part of your life. And, welcome to the team. That's how this goes. And if she can fit in with the guys, and it's your job to, to help her fit in, then this whole thing becomes a win. So good luck with that. All right, so this guy has 2 questions. The first I'll kind of gloss over because it's just like the previous one, except from the other position. He's the guy with the girlfriend. He wants to know how he's going to juggle having a girlfriend and his bros. And the answer is, man, just work it out. It's your obligation to make sure that your friends don't feel dumped every time you pick up a girlfriend. If you're dumping your bros, every time you get a girl, then then you're not doing it right. You need to make sure that your guy friends still feel love, for lack of a better word, every time you pick up a girlfriend. But it's also their obligation to understand that they need to share your time and they want what's best for you, what makes you happy. But let's get on to the second question. Now again, using your stick and move thing, I've been with a few girls. Let me stop right here and talk about what the stick and move strategy is for those of you that haven't heard all my Mail Mondays. The wrong way, according to me, to get a girlfriend is to just find one, pursue her. If it doesn't work out, you're endlessly stuck in the friend zone. You're pining after her for months. You're feeling that she has no substitute. That's the wrong way to do it. The right way to do it is to find a girl that's a potential girlfriend, make your move. If it doesn't work out, find another girl that could be a potential girlfriend and make your move on her. To sit there and hope that this one girl is the only one that can possibly make you happy is the wrong way to go about this. Instead, give more than one a shot, and you'll see that there's somebody special out there for you. But back on target. I've been using your stick and move strategy, and I've been with a few girls. I'm not a huge player, but I get around fine. Anyways, I haven't gone further than making out with a girl. I'm 15, by the way. I'm not complaining. I know that I have all my life to do things with girls, but I want to know what the average time to last while getting hand or head is for a guy my age. Now, I know your advice about it, thinking about math or whatever, and I'll be sure to keep that in mind. I just wanted to know what I should try to aim for in terms of time when getting hand or head. Sorry for the long message. Love your videos. All right, for the purposes of this answer, I'm going to assume that while you're 15, you're actually like a Native American Indian from 400 years ago, and you'll be married in no time at all. So, how long to last during hand or head? Here's the thing. When you're talking about, like, actual sex, then, lasting can be an issue, especially for younger guys, right? And that's where, like, the thinking of math comes in. When you're talking about these other sex acts, like hand to head that we're talking about here, then your objective is not to last forever. Your objective is not to, like, keep going for 40 minutes and what it. No, she's putting work into this thing, and it's kind of a cooperative effort to finish. If it takes like 3 to 5 minutes, I promise you she won't be complaining. That's a success. So this notion of like thinking about math or something distracting while doing these other acts is off target, right? Your goal is not to go on for and on and on. Your goal is to sort of team up and share a moment together while you're doing this. So yeah, that's how long do I expect you to last? I don't know. I don't want to call it a race, but you're definitely not supposed to be taking your time either. You're supposed to be reaching the finish line on this thing, and it's usually a cooperative effort to get there. Hey Woody, I just had to write this. I have a master's degree in science, my fiance in mathematics. We are both 25 years old and have pretty decent jobs. Here in Poland, we can afford to have a 10-year-old car and a hypothec credit for a 2-room apartment. For those of you, I had to look that up. A hypothec credit is like a mortgage in the U.S. A couple of months ago, I decided that I didn't want to work 9 to 5, as you said. The problem is you already figured out, is the money. I have a lot of business ideas, and we truly want to change something in our lives to be our own bosses and don't have to worry about deadlines, etc. We can't do it. It takes a lot of money to even start any kind of company and to begin the realization of our dream. We can't take any other credit because we can't afford paying for it and paying for the hypothec credit at the same time. Glad you've been so lucky that you've made it. Keep it up. Sorry for my poor English. Your English is fine, dude. So I sometimes go on these Disney cruises, and on these Disney cruises, you run into a lot of really successful people. It's kind of the nature of the beast. It's expensive and it requires some free time. I sit there and wonder, like, how did you do it? How did you make this happen? And guys, they talk to each other, right? And it's, I mean, forgive the stereotype. It's usually these like male breadwinners who've figured out how to make money. And sometimes I more or less interview them, and they're happy to talk about it. I had one guy, Dick. I did a video about Dick one time, and he said, business is easy. All you have to do is find a viable market and offer better service at a better price than your competitors. He's like, if you do that, you'll have all their customers in no time at all. And it was like, you do make it sound easy, right? Or maybe he said it was a better service at a fair price or something like that. And then he started bringing up all these examples. He'd say, hey, Matt, I just talked to this guy, and he sells like chemical filtration units for swimming pools. And now he's gotten to the point where he owns 2/3 of the East Coast of the United States in terms of market share. And it was like, wow. And he's like, yeah. All his competitors, they weren't showing up when they were supposed to show up, or the prices weren't what they agreed on, or there were these surprises or these problems or whatever. He's like, and him, when you do business with him, it would always work out well. In terms of how to get the business started, I talked to my father about this. He's a CPA, and he's worked with a gazillion small companies. And I used to work in his firm too, so I got to see a lot of this firsthand. How do people actually start small companies? They bootstrap it. Bootstrapping is when you self-finance this thing. When you do it on your own, you just sort of pay for it as you go, and you do your best about it. It's... people get into the bad idea, the wrong impression that the way that you kick off a business is to immediately go $250,000 in debt and get something funded in a really big way. That's a rough way to start your business. A much nicer way to start your business is to just pay your expenses as they come instead of, starting super deep in this sort of thing. You didn't say what your business ideas were in particular, but there are a lot of businesses that don't have enormous startup costs. There are a lot of businesses that really begin with, some simple equipment and some and a lot of work. and if you have that in your head, then you can get this thing going. Heck, this YouTube thing. People talk about how huge the investment is. It's not that big. I mean, it starts off with what, a capture card. and a headset maybe, and you're off to the races. After a while, you end up paying for the software that you stole, and you end up, buying better mics and better computers and better things like that. But in terms of business expenses, these things are cheap to get going, and that's true with, an accounting firm. That's true with a law firm. That's true with a lot of things that you can get up and running without a ton of expenses. And a lot of times, the barriers that you create to getting into your own business are in your own head. And what you really need to do is just sort of get it started, make it happen. And like a lot of people, they work two jobs for a while until their own business is stable enough that they can make that leap onto just that as their final income. So to wrap up this letter, the big thing I want to tell you is not to think of reasons why you can't do it, but to think of how you're going to do it. And if you make that change, then you'll be in pretty good shape. So there you have it. I'll paraphrase for speed. I'm 16. I live at home with my family. When my mom leaves for the night, my sister takes a chance and invites a guy into her room and has sex with him. Since her room's right next to mine, I can hear everything she does with him. For example, she did it against the wall, so you can imagine how I hear every detail. On Thanksgiving break, she didn't know I was home from school, and she was the loudest I've ever heard. My mom goes out mostly on Thursday, so I can never sleep the night before my tests due to all the noise. I think I might be traumatized for the rest of my life. What do we do about this? So, you see, here's the thing. My standard take on this is that, sex is not an act of aggression. Your sister is fine. At some point she's going to be married and have a baby, and you're going to look at her husband and be like, I know what you guys do, right? And it's okay, right? Because you do it too. It's part of a healthy, loving relationship. It's part of, the human experience. It's all good, right? We're happy here. This is all right. I'm more concerned about the fact that it sounds like your sister is, having one-offs with different guys all the time. And that to me is, akin to her having I don't know, some other kind of social problem, right? Maybe like depression or alcoholism or something like that. Like she's doing an unhealthy thing here. I'm not worried about the fact that you hear her or about the fact that somebody is having sex. That's okay. That's all right. I'm worried about the fact that, she's not living her life in a way that probably is best for her, right? I don't know what this active sex life that she's having with all these different guys is filling this hole of, right? Is it making her feel better about herself, at least temporarily? Is it making her feel pretty? Is it making her feel desired or wanted, or what's going on here? But, if she's truly exhibiting some sort of nymphomaniac behavior, I'm more concerned about that than I am the fact that you hear her. If she's with her loving boyfriend, her potential fiance, if everything is cool in this and you're hearing her, then I'm, dude, buck up. Look, I'm happy for her. I'm happy that she's having, the time of her life with the guy of her dreams. I hope that's the case. All right, 2 videos you may have missed. The top one, 900 video special. It starts off a little slowish, but I think it ended up as probably the best video I've made in the last couple of months. It's been really well received. I've gotten a lot of feedback on it, so thanks for that one. The bottom one is a Game Battles doubles match I had with my friend T-Mart. If you guys like that series, then it's cool. You can hear us communicate to each other and how we work together as a team, and it's a good series. It's good players against good players. That's what Game Battles is. So not that we're the best players or anything, but that's what Game Battles is all about. So surprise video on the right, links in the description, and have a good day.